Hello, I'm Fiona Flynn and I'm here with comedian, best-selling author and broadcaster Colm O'Regan. Colm, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you very much.
Colm, you have a lot of feathers in your cap, as my intro just proved there. But it all kind of kicked off for you with the Irish Mammies Twitter account. Would that be fair to say?
Well, the kicked off in the sense that more than my own immediate family knew who I was.
Yeah.
So yes, and it's funny how quickly time passes. The first Irish Mammies tweet was in December 2011, which is nearly 6.5 years in I suppose social media is like half of the social media life.
Yeah.
So for most of civilization.
Exactly. Yes. Most of Irish civilization.
Exactly. So that was when it started, and I wrote some tweets. They were more popular than I was.
I feel like you kind of sort of kicked off the phenomenon of this obsession with the Irish mammy and everything that she does, which, well, you started it, Colm.
It would be, I think, hubristic of me to claim that Irish males' obsession with their mother started with me. I replatformed it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And like Twitter, again, it's not like it was just me and the Dalai Lama and the BBC on Twitter in 2011. There was millions, hundreds of millions of people there. But again, in Irish terms, like there are people of the demographic who I was portraying joined Twitter to follow the Irish Mammies Twitter account, and then went on. They might have left their accounts dormant, or then went on to start hurling abuse at Leo Varadkar years later. I don't know, but it was I married the. I suppose the fond portrayal with the genre, like the Twitter back in the good old days. I remember when it was only 140 characters.
I know,
and
simpler times.
The brevity lent itself to those kind of communications from your mother that were packed with meaning, subtext. Somehow you could read between the lines, even if there was only one line.
Yeah.
It was like within the lines. They were like neutrinos. They were subatomic messages in the tweets. That was what I was trying to get across. So she'd appear on Twitter and say, "I noticed you didn't put the scissors back where it's supposed to go," and then you're left to stew in that.
What did your own poor mother think of all this, or was she bothered that she would now become?
Well, I think like a lot of people, I'd get these anecdotal messages from people saying, I showed it to my mother and she said, "He's just writing stuff that I say. I don't see why that's so funny."
Typical Irish mum thing to say. Yeah.
How is he making a living out of this? But I think she was happy that I had something to do, which is always that's the first.
Keep him busy.
The what would you call it? The Irish Mammies Maslow hierarchy of needs. Like a degree, kept busy, sure, not too bad. Down at the bottom would be fame, fulfillment, all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, you've got to get the other ones right first.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. And you've moved on to from Irish Mammies to looking at language, I guess, and how we talk, and that kind of came across in your book Bollocksology, which is brilliant. But now that's moved on to a radio show.
Yeah.
And the new comedy, it's been running for a few years, but the Comedy Showhouse Festival. So tell us about that and your show in it.
Yeah, the Comedy Showhouse is a radio festival recorded for RTE Radio 1 in front of live audiences. So for the last few years, I've been recording shows. Colm O'Regan Wants a Word. There have been sketch shows. There have been panel shows, and all under this umbrella of the Comedy Showhouse, which is bringing existing writers, new writers, creating. I think what I like about it, it's fierce important in comedy to create working relationships where you can trust people, because telling a joke is a real fall back and hope somebody will catch you kind of thing.
I can imagine, yeah.
Like you don't tell a joke unless you think maybe somebody might respond, because there is nothing that stinks a place out more than a joke that's left hanging that doesn't work, apart from people who appreciate anti-comedy. But it's so that creating those working relationships are great. So through that, so on Maybank holiday weekend, I'm recording 6 shows, so 2 shows a night.
Right.
The preceding days, Fiona Looney is writing sketch shows. I think it's for 3 nights, and they are called Waiting, and it features I think Deirdre O'Kane is in it and a few others.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
Sketches, little mini comedy dramas about women waiting.
Yeah.
And then I follow up then with Colm O'Regan Wants a Word, where I look at language, the words we use, the layers of bullshit that sometimes overlay certain things. And it's...
give us a few examples of that then.
Well, I mean...
Sure, there are many.
I've seen now... I've heard it, like I've seen it in print. So the phrase reaching out, right? It started out with, if you worked for an American multinational, you would maybe, it would be a couple of years ago, it would have been an email from Global.
Yes.
You know, so it would be, just so you know, the new policy, HR policy, we're rolling out across a number of key divisions, EMEA and North Atlantic, is we hope to reach out. So that's where reach out started, right? Then you start to see it kind of seep its way in. And now I'm hearing Irish people saying, yeah, he reached out to me. You know, and it just, there's two semi-quoting somebody else in this, there's two acceptable uses of reach out. One is if it is a genuine, you know, you're having some mental health issues and you need to reach out to somebody and get the virtual or real hug. You know, I need to reach out. Thank you for reaching out. I hope that helped. Or, as somebody has said before, if you're in the four tops, right? And it's reach out, I'll be there to love and whatever you. So that's, as far as I'm concerned. But now I'm hearing people say reach out. It doesn't. So it's the leaking of language in. I'm an old curmudgeon. There's nothing you can do. That's the thing about language. You can't stop it happening. It's organic. But sometimes I think the speed at which language is changing is faster than the normal evolution. Like stuff is coming in. Like I have zomged. You know, I have written Z-O-M-G, but in an ironic way to show that I don't really believe it. But eventually the irony will drop and I will write Z-O-M-G on something. I will say eventually that something is lit if it's good. Do you know what I mean? And
use the emoji to go with it.
Yeah, but the problem is that time only goes in one direction. So as I get older and older, using these words, it's just going to seem worse and worse. The shows examine just things we say across a number of topics using three kind of devices. I've got Paul Tylek and Tara Flynn, who are two of Ireland's best comedy actors, and they'll act out some sketches to add a little bit of texture to some points they're making. I'll be doing little rants in kind of like normal stand-up, but sort of sitting down in front of a microphone with an audience. So an RTE Radio 1 rant, more gentle. And then for each of the shows, I have a commentator or an expert, somebody who knows a little bit more about what I'm trying to say and will be unafraid to say, actually, Colm, that was a great rant, but you're full of shite. And I don't mind that either.
Colm, in terms of future material, I know you're an Irish Daddy now, and I'm sort of half waiting on the Irish Daddy Twitter account. Or is that something that you even want to use as material?
Yeah, I don't know. It takes a while for new things to percolate through, you know, to get the angle. There's also a reticence on my part, because like I was not a parent for a while. So now there's this thing I've heard that people, for a start, so people who like don't want to hear you talk about your children, right? They get bored. I don't understand, but I've heard that happens. And then people who do have children sometimes insist on talking about their own children and aren't willing to sit and listen to you talk about yours. So there's a little bit of reticence in me to absolutely go on about them all the time. Plus, they're the best kids in the world.
Of course.
And I just don't want other people to feel inadequate. So I'm just an empathy machine. It's take a while to get through the kind of maybe get some sleep first and then work out how I digest
down the line,
Because, you know, you could catch me on a bad morning after a bad night and I will be telling people, don't have children. You know? So,
and then you'll have the teenage years, which I'm sure will bring, you know, its own turbulence.
Exactly, but then, like, it being Ireland, they'll sue me for defamation or something, you know, so it's just...
Well, hopefully,
That's the plan. If we can work out a way where it's mutually beneficial, that I get half their winnings and all that kind of thing.
Win-win. Why else would people have kids?
Exactly,
Colm, lovely to talk to you.
That's what they have.
Pensions, that's it. Lovely to talk to you. You can catch Colm's show, Colm O'Regan Wants a Word, on May 3rd, 4th and 5th at the Project Arts Centre for the Comedy Showhouse Festival. And you're also at the Cat's Laughs as well.
That's right, on Saturday, Sunday and Monday. So I have three or four shows, I think. And I don't want to tell everybody the details of the lineup. I obviously know off by heart who I'm on with. But I like to let people log on to the website and see who else they might like to buy tickets for, rather than expose the fact that I don't actually remember who I'm on with. So log on to that website, guys. Colm, lovely to talk to you. Thank you.